welcome to Utopia, favored ones. Come on in and have a seat at the round table. I'm Kymmy, and let's get into today's reading. For the topic, we have messages from Persephone, looking into your shadow work for the winter seasons and what's coming in for you because of that shadow work that you've done. So we'll be pulling 3 cards, one from each deck that I will have listed below, and one card will be what shadow work what have you been releasing, and the second one will be what you should be proud of, and the third one's going to be an advice card. So what shadow work are you, what are you clearing out during this season? And then what should you be proud of, and advice from Persephone. So we have 3 options. You can choose from the thumbnail, or I have extra items here as well for you to choose from. So we have pile number 1 is this cute little notebook, and we have pile number 2 is this Booster Juice stress ball. It's not a ball, but either way. And then we have pile number 3 is yogurt pomegranate berry. So if you want to go ahead and take a moment to choose your pile, I will have the timestamps below, and I'll see you all there. Bye! Pile number 1. If you chose the notebook and the first image with the tulips and book, then this pile is for you. So first, going off of the imagery, just for extra confirmation, I feel as though the shadow work that you're clearing away is that your story is important to share. Some of you may be going through a rebirth with the shadow work in order to speak out more. You may have been hiding, or hiding your work. You may write songs or poems and don't share with anyone. And that's something that you're working on, is getting over that fear of being seen, the fear of success, and bringing back that inner childlike innocence that makes your soul shine. With tulips, it is a symbolism of undying love. I don't want to say undying, unconditional love, deep and unconditional love. You show deep and unconditional love for others in all your relationships, and you're learning how to give that unconditional love back to yourself. A lot of you may enjoy collecting notebooks and schedule planners and haven't quite used them, so you are slowly making a routine and sticking to it, is the feeling I'm getting. You may write not only poetry, but you may do slam poetry or rap battles. And with the rebirth of the white tulips, I feel you may be emerging back into the scene, whether it's music or painting, tarot, whether or not you're joining a sports team again. I feel like you're putting yourself back out there, whether it's in regards to love or just allowing yourself to have fun. I feel as though your shadow work that you've been working on is allowing yourself to be a little less serious and give yourself your own flowers. I can buy myself flowers, put my name in the sand, talking to myself for hours about things that you don't understand. So yeah, there may be 444 on the clock. You may feel as though you were misunderstood, and you're finding people who you can connect with and find stability. especially with the 444 going across the clock. So we're going to get a card here, and I have the Dreamweaver for what shadow work, what are they releasing right now, Persephone? What is pile number 1 releasing during this winter season? Nope. Oh. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah. You may have felt as if someone had knocked you off of your pedestal and left you on the floor. You may have felt like you are left to pick up the pieces behind you. Number 29. All is calm upon these shores. I'm getting the feeling of self-taught. The shadow work that you're going through is coming to terms and accepting that you may not have the same learning style as everyone else, and you may learn a bit differently. So you are catering to your learning style coming up, because it reminds me with all is calm on these shores, especially with the starfish, kind of reminds me of the song Silent Night. And when I first got a keyboard, I had to teach myself because my parents didn't think that I'd be able to learn because of the size of my hands, which was totally bogus. So yeah, you're learning to not listen to people who say you'll never learn something. Maybe you were told a certain skill and talent wasn't for you for a particular reason. Maybe they're saying that you'll never learn, but you're learning to teach yourself, and that practice makes perfect. And so you're going to practice every single day. You're finding that routine. You're putting in the effort. And you realize that delayed gratification is oh so sweeter than instant gratification. You know, having a home brewed, ground the coffee up yourself by hand in a mortar and pestle and had it drip coffee compared to instant coffee probably tastes better. I'm gonna have to take your guys' word for it because I don't drink coffee myself, so I'm not sure why I'm using the analogy. But when you have premium grounds to stand on, right? And you're becoming premium within the grounds that you stand on. It's like hearing the ocean inside of a seashell, putting it up to your ear. So if you take the time to listen carefully, you can hear the depths of the ocean. And I feel like that's what you're doing for yourself, is that you've recognized that the right people who are meant to hear your story and who do resonate with you and align and will find you. You know that. You know that now. That's something that you're pushing aside, is that the feelings of being misunderstood and being an outcast, and knowing that amplifying your story will allow others who do resonate to come in, because keeping it to yourself all clammed up and closed off, you're going to feel closed off to the world. But as soon as you start sharing your story, maybe you didn't feel like people could relate to your poetry, or maybe you felt like people couldn't relate to your certain style of like fashion, of clothing, and then you started wearing the clothes that you wanted to, and you're realizing that a lot of people started complimenting you more because you look the greatest when you feel good. But yeah, yeah, back to the keyboard is that I self-taught myself by ear, so you may have a really good ear when it comes to recognizing different pitches and patterns. You could be a beat maker, a mix and master as well. Yeah, I feel as though a flood of people are coming in telling you how your story relates to them as soon as you open your shell up just a little bit. And that's what you've been working on, and is trying to put yourself out there. You know, getting outside of your comfort zone is the biggest thing that you are going to be working on and have been working on. Uh, Persephone wants you to know that you're doing a good job, and yeah, drilling. A drill sergeant. Oh, drill beats. The neighbor's using a drill right now, and I'm thinking, like, what's drill beats? It's interrupting. I'm trying to think of, like, nebula, and it's, like, swirling in there. Some of you might be getting a new laundry. Some of you may be doing videos showing your daily routines, because I'm hearing whirlpool, which is a type of um, laundry machine. So some of you may need to change over your laundry, but I also am getting the feeling that while putting yourself out there, I feel like you're doing short reels of, like, people want to see what you're wearing, like those get ready with me videos, or get ready with me to go to the studio, get ready with me to go to the gym, those types of videos. I'm also seeing that you're putting yourself out there, like, for your routine, because other people want to know what the 411 is with you. So that's really exciting, is that your shadow work is getting outside of your comfort zone, opening up and no longer being clammed into or jammed into one single mind of thinking when it comes to learning, and then when it comes to sharing your story. Um, Use whichever platform and whichever format and medium works for you. If you prefer to use clay to make pottery over sculpting things out of a marble, then do so. If you prefer to hand type, typewrite out all of your story compared to using a computer or writing it out by hand, then do so. If you prefer learning through correspondence over being inside of a classroom, do so. You are doing your very best to shine your brightest, and to not put yourself in that little cookie cutter print of a life. You don't need to. This is also the book, it was called Poetry and Blossom. So you're blossoming is the next card I wanted to get, because it's for, like, what are you doing right now? Like, why she be proud is because you're blossoming from the care and grace you're giving yourself. You are blossoming. 14:14 on the clock. So 5:5, big changes coming through with all of the dedication and determination that you've put towards putting yourself out there. It's not easy. You may have stage fright, some of you, or overcritical of your performances after. And Spirit wants to let you know that they're proud of you, because it takes a lot of guts and to go up on stage, to put yourself out there. It's no easy task. And, you know, just because you're scared doesn't mean you weren't meant for it. Can we get a card on why my pile number ones should be proud of their work? Oh, yes, exactly. The Queen of Cups. You are being diligent and what's the other word? It's a D word. It's using your discernment with where you will share your energy and who you won't share your energy with. You are taking the time and knowing that you are worth. Yeah, you're worth protecting your own energy. You're your own trophy. Yeah, there's also shells on here too. Some of you may relate to the ocean or shells in altogether, especially with the other seashell. Marine biology or just biology in general. Yeah, some of you are learning how to become an alchemist and learning to connect science with magic, which is super cool. I adore that. Your inner child is cheering you on as you claim your throne. And yeah, people aren't able to pull you up out of your energy, out of your seat. In the past, people may have been able to easily trigger you into either anger or self-isolation because of what they thought of you, and you're no longer allowing them to dim your light. So the reason why you should be proud is because you're no longer allowing people to dim your light. You're using discernment on where your energy should be placed and where you should pull back your energy because it's no longer serving you. You are serving yourself. You're serving. It's giving royalty. So you're giving royalty right now, pile number one. And for an advice card, please, spirit guides, guardians, and ancestors. Can we get an advice for our pile number ones, please? Oh, oh. Okay, fine, I'll take it. Stuck. A lot of you advice is to maybe not be so stubborn when it comes to perfection of your projects. Putting out 100 songs, you'll get much better than agonizing over one song forever. You're just gonna learn that. You'll learn a lot more. Like playing 100 rounds of League of Legends, playing 100 rounds, you're gonna get better at shooting. Compared to playing it once and being like, I'm bad at it, and then never pick it up again. So the advice is to hold on 1 second. What is voices again? Voices of Swords. 5 of Swords. Five of Swords. The advice from them, yeah, is the Five of Swords and original energy is like winning, but at what cost? You know? Um, yeah, don't let perfection leave you cross-eyed, okay? Leaving you like frustrated and your eyes crossed and you're just waiting for it to end. And yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be mistletoe. Yeah, watch out for people who are trying to give you lip service, who aren't actually supporting you, but they may talk nicely. Watch their actions. Yeah, because some people might be sending you the evil eye and want to like cross you off a list. Um, just be mindful of that. Don't allow people to just say nice things to you. Watch their actions. Are they, they say like, oh, I really liked your new video, but they didn't like the video and they didn't leave a comment. So, like, beware of those who are not willing to celebrate you in front of everyone else, because your success is no secret, okay? It's no secret. Everyone can see, okay, that you are ready for the red district. Yeah, the red light district. So some of you are ready to go on the fashion walking. Yeah, and be careful of those who give you low hanging fruits, like low bearing fruits. Like if um you know that there's an easy comeback at someone who's done you dirty, to be wary that that's a low hanging fruit. That yeah, it would be easy to get back at them, but that's also them pulling you out of your energy, which is what you're not doing right now. You're really good at not doing that. So the advice is to keep using your discernment and meditate more. Maybe if you don't enjoy silent or still meditation, mindful meditation, maybe you want to go into dancing, drawing, doing mandalas, uh, sculpting, writing, whatever gets you in a state of flow, because spirit doesn't want those people who are sending you the energy of stagnancy. Confirmation. Ugh, extra confirmation. Ugh, it's a triple confirmation. Um, yeah, people who want to see you in stagnancy. I see a lot of here that you may crows, or a lot of you may enjoy crows. What about a murder though? What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, red rum, red rum, red rum. Some of you may need to watch more comedy, but yeah, extra confirmation. Some of you may have two different colored eyes. Another piece of advice is to keep speaking the truth for those who do speak out on conspiracies and stuff like that. Because it like kind of looks like blue and then a beam. Either way, you know. And if not, I don't want to get monetized or whatever they're gonna do. I don't want to take them down. So we mind our P's and Q's. Yeah, mind your P's and Q's for those who may be trying to cancel out your shine. Why do those look like edamames? Nothing about me and an edamame, you don't know me. Some of you may enjoy RuneScape. What is that, though? I'm gonna look, because I have no idea what that if that's supposed to be mistletoe or edamames, or is it supposed to be grapes? Because those are the weirdest looking grapes I have ever seen. Five of voice. What is that? Well, they don't tell you. So that's a mystery. You're a mystery. Keep being mysterious. Yes, there's some people who may be looking constantly for details to know what's going on in your life. And keep being a mystery. That's advice from Persephone, is to keep being a mystery and putting yourself out there. Because that's incredible. I love the way you... Yeah, she loves the way you socialize and accessorize. Because there's like the sunglasses and everything. Yeah, you're uh, a social butterfly, or I should say a social moth as well. Because I feel like you may be the personality style of INFP, where you like enjoy bubbly things as well as the macabre. 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 Macabros. Yeah, a lot of contour. A lot of you, like, I don't know how that has to do with advice, but that's extra confirmation. Is, oh, stay sharp. Stay sharp. Advice is to stay sharp and watch out for those who may be watching over you at this time that may want you to feel stagnant. Remember to stay mysterious, because the closed mouthed fish doesn't get the hook. That's all I'm saying. So thank you everyone for coming through. I hope you enjoyed all these messages from Persephone. It was quite a wild ride, and I enjoyed taking it with you. So if yeah, you enjoyed this, give it a like and subscribe. I don't normally say that, but I feel like you, that's another one, advice. Advocate for yourself. You may be the type of person who, after you've dropped like music or stuff like that, you don't drop it ahead. You don't move until the creation is complete. But remember to like hype yourself up. If you're out and you're an artist, remember to introduce yourself by your artist name. You don't have to go over and above, but remember that it's put yourself out there. That was the original shadow work, is that put yourself out there. So yeah, keep putting yourself out there and keep using your discernment. We're so proud of you and your growth and the fact that you are being brave, showing courage. Courage is not the lack of fear, but the ability and the choice to do it regardless of fear. So remember to eat, hydrate, rest, and have fun. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye! File number 2. If you chose the Booster Juice Stress Cup, then this pile is for you. Just give me a second. I want to grab the cards off the floor. Excellent. All right. So from the imagery I have there, that is wolfsbane. So some of you may relate to being a shapeshifter. You may have had go through different phases throughout your life, or maybe you just have different phases throughout the season. You may notice that there's certain timelines throughout the year where you will start listening to certain songs on repeat. And you may enjoy wolves and the type of animals that aren't usually shown as much love, like bats and spiders and all the other nighttime critters and jitters. So, with wolfsbane as well, it is um, also connected to potatoes and as and tomatoes and such. And due to the fact that the tomatoes were a part of the nightshade family, at one point they thought they were poisonous, but they turned out to be the most delicious addition to like most meals actually. So like I feel like what you're finding out through your shadow work right now is that you make a great addition to the team, especially the way you shapeshift and adapt. I'm hearing adapt, improvise, overcome. So you're able to adapt, improvise, and overcome in a lot of different scenarios. And the fact that you're adaptable and a jack of all trades, you fit well with a lot of different cliques. Just like I was saying at the beginning with the different phases. Yeah, so since you've had a lot of different experiences, you're able to pull from that well of knowledge and help bring clarity to those who are on any type of project with you, really. Let's see, what shadow work? We have the Dreamweaver. Let's ask Persephone, please. What is shadow work are they releasing in this upcoming season? What are they working on? I will take it. I did it. You're working on accepting yourself because you may belong to many different groups of friends. You may, since you have many different styles and friends, it has 34. When the Dreamweaver calls your heart, you're opening up your heart center. Is the shadow work you are working on. Yeah, you've worked on being grounded and worked and being creative, and now you're putting your heart on your sleeve and wearing it as a badge of honor. Look, as if it's a badge of honor. Yeah, you've opened your heart center is the shadow work that you are to be working on and have been working on, I feel. And I also feel as though you've been working on Reiki or learning how to heal others by opening your heart up. With the dog on the thing here, I feel like you're opening your heart and your home up to a new addition, whether this is um, a fur baby or a slither or critter baby or an actual a new addition to the family member, a new child, whether through um, IFV, adoption, whatever way. I just feel as though right now your shadow work is opening up your heart to others. Yeah, you're really letting down that wall that you may have built up to keep people at bay, at arm's length. And I feel as though you're really allowing those walls to start to begin to unfold naturally. You're allowing people in who are willing to take the time to get to know you and what your love languages are. if it's not Reiki, you can be laying hands and other ways of healing. You may be a prayer warrior, I think they were called. And I just love that I brought up Wolfsbane and that there's a dog into this. Either way, extra cute symbolisms and synchronicities that I enjoy. Yeah, you're allowing, you're welcoming in more synchronicities and messages from spirit, whereas before you may have been thinking with a more logical brain, and now you're allowing to allow your heart to lead you, whereas in before you may have been moving more in a logic based fear instead of a heart based guidance. And Spirit, Persephone wants to remind you that let sleeping dogs lie. Let sleeping dogs lie. Let the past be the past. And don't let that cycle continue to hold your heart down. Kind of reminds me of a Polly Pocket. I don't know if any of you. And if you're not welcoming an addition to the family, it could have been a new cycle. So it could be one of your pets' birthdays recently or coming up. There's other messages that when it comes to love, an old dog can learn new tricks. Excuse me. You may feel like you're too old in years to learn something new that makes your heart shine, and you're learning that through spiritual and shadow work that that's not the case. It is never too late. You are never too old to learn a new skill, especially when it makes your heart shine and flutter. Like, if it makes you feel alive, then yes, of course, do it. You're never too old and it's never too late. Yeah, it's never too late to find your purpose with the porpoise, with the dolphins here. Yeah, it's never too late to learn your purpose and to find that heart center of yours. I'm also hearing that you have the Midas touch. Uh, and with that, what I'm getting is for spiritual work is that you are learning how to let go of lack mindset. Yeah, you're learning that um, to not pass up what you considered handouts. Instead of you are realizing that that is the hand of spirit or God or whatever you believe in. That is the hand reaching down, the hand of God. It's just an expression, I'm going with it. So the hand of God reaching out and giving you a gift. A lot of you may have been prideful before with accepting gifts from other people, but you are learning now that not all gifts have strings attached, and if they do, that's on them. That's their problem because you took it for heart's value. And a gift should always be a gift, not a trade. If it was meant to be a trade, it should be said up front. But yeah, spirit work you're working on right now is learning to accept gifts from not only others, but not only from others, but also from spirit. You're also learning to accept help. You're learning to accept help. You realize what goes around comes around. What you give is what you get. And if you are giving out love, all the love you give will be returned in kind. And you deserve that. And that's what you're learning through shadow work, is that all that love that you give out is to be returned in kindness, because you deserve it. And you're learning to accept that love as well. That's brilliant. I am so up for that. That is to be congratulated, because that's not an easy task or easy shadow work to move on from. I'm also seeing is that you're removing a lot of stress from your life in a more in a more healthy way. You're finding healthy coping mechanisms and tools to use, which in your before you may have been using unhealthy coping mechanisms and escapisms, which is the shadow work you're working through. Also getting that you may be drinking a lot more smoothies, or doing a juice cleanse, or just like juices like cucumber water, I'm also getting as well. So you may just start to and treating yourself more. Maybe in the past, that's also another part of your shadow work, is trying to do everything yourself, and knowing that overdoing delayed gratification can sometimes, um, what is it? Yes. Hyper independence is a form of trauma. So the fact that you won't allow anyone else to treat you, like maybe you cut your own hair, and one time you go out and you allow someone else to cut your hair for you. It's not that you can't. It's not that you're not good at it. It's just that you deserve to be treated a little. Just a little. Just a little every now and then. You don't need a big treat, just a little treat. Treat yourself. You're learning to treat yourself, which is amazing. So, what's the next one? The next one is, what is pile number 2 to be proud of right now, Persephone? Because shadow work is not just about what can you change, how can I be better, how can I be better. Sometimes shadow work is realizing that you do deserve to be proud of yourself and give yourself kindness, and to cut yourself some slack as much as you do everyone else. Yeah, I feel as though you're something to be proud of is how tightly knit your friendship is, because while I was trying to shuffle the deck, it feels a little bit more tight than the last time I was shuffling it. The last time I was shuffling it for pile number 1, it felt stubborn energy. Yours feels like it wants to stick together. Like you, no matter where you go, you are the glue that sticks things together. You know how to bring people together, is something I'm hearing, which is amazing, especially when the love you give out is returning kindness. The fact that you bring people together tells me that spirit wants to bring everything together for you. It wants to make things come together right now over me. Some of you may be a part of a band or play guitar. Yes. Oh, you should be proud of the love offerings that you give out to yourself and others, especially the ones that you give to yourself, since I know that that's the shadow work that you are working on. It might be the bane of your existence, with the wolf's bane. It might be the bane of your existence to cater to yourself, but be proud. Be proud that you are able to walk around with love, with your love cup full constantly. I'm also hearing from like Donkey. It's stallion, baby. So some of you may have like Megan Thee Stallion style body, like thicker than a sticker. Uh, yeah, you are bountiful and beautiful. Oh, I love that there's fishes on here, but yeah, um, I don't know how that would be proud of. Please, Spirit. I don't know if that's positive or not. I'm hearing the word koi, so you may take care of koi fish, but I don't know how playing coy. Like, I don't think that you're like playing coy. I think that you're very cunning and witty. I feel like with a fox, um, that what are, very strategic. Yes, that's the word. You're very strategic. You know how to and you know how to deliver a message. You're very you're witty and strategic, and you're very good with your communication. With the wings down here on the ankle of the boot, it reminds me of Hermes, the Greek god of the messenger of the gods. Um, yeah, that so Persephone wants to uh give you props and to let you know that you should be proud that you are a messenger of the gods and spirit and universe. You are a catalyst for beautiful messages to other. Yeah, you should be proud that you bring such beautiful messages into the world and love. A lot of you may be tarot readers, or just healers in general. I've already said a bunch about that, like with Reiki and Prana. But even if it's just because you really give good pep talks, you don't have to be into the spiritual depths of tarot to be a good person and to give a beautiful message. Actually, most messages that come from spirit isn't when we have cards in front of us. It's in the moment when someone's feeling really down and you let them know you're proud of them and to not give up. That's a message from spirit. You know, telling someone to have a good day when they really needed it and you were there to tell them, you know, I really like your shoes. And that makes their day, that can make their whole week. And you do that, and Spirit wants you to know to be proud of those. I feel like you're the type of person who may compliment people when you go. You may find joy in that, and may set yourself with a quota to reach each time. It's like I'm gonna find 3 people to compliment while I'm out, because you really know that that kindness is returned in double, tenfold, triple fold, all the folds. You know that it will be returned to you. All right, and Spirit, what, or Persephone, what is the advice you have for pile number 2, please? It's Come Together by Led Zeppelin. A lot of you may be good at flying. I don't know if that may resonate for someone. You may be taking flying lessons that you should be proud of, or a flight attendant, or that you're just traveling a lot, um, or that your followers have reached um, more countries, or a new high follower reach. Either way, to be proud of that, your voice is traveling far. release some emotions. That's Cups. Advice. Gonna give you a moment because Spirit told me to let you look at the image. The advice from Spirit. How do you want me to word that, though? Spirit wants you to know that you are more than what it meets the eyes on the surface level. Your advice from Spirit is to not let people treat you like you're surface level, that you don't have depth to you, because you do. And you have so much depth to you. It's in the quantum realm, okay? It is in the metaverse. Don't let anyone feel like they can school you. Like, any advices, don't let people feel like that they can outclass you, outschool you, outdo you. Because you are only in competition with yourself. Okay? It's just you and the water. I'm getting the image from Finding Nemo when Merlin went Marvin went back in to save Dory from the jellyfish, because that looks like Dory, and jumping on the jellyfish. Don't let the possibility of getting stung stop you from helping others. Don't let it change your nature just because of other people. Let me word this better. There was a story where confirmation, where a man was saving a snake and the snake bit him, and the man went and saved the snake again and kept trying over and over and over again. And someone was like, why are you doing that? You know that the snake is going to bite you. Why did you do that? And it's like, it's in the snake's nature to bite and lash out and protect itself. It's in my nature to save, and I'm not going to let the snake's nature change mine. And that's the advice for you, is don't let other people's stingers and ill intentions change your heroic spirit, your heroic heroine essence, okay? Yeah, your heroic essence. Yeah, because Marvin went charging back in there to save Dory, even though he knew that Dory was already stung and that there was a possibility that he might be stung to death and not make it out. And then he did, and he got to see the turtles after. So, yeah, don't allow other people's dingy energy and ill intentions change your inner nature. Stay true to yourself, pile number 2. That's advice from Persephone. Alright, thank you for coming through. I really enjoyed your energy and getting to hear your story and know you better. So I hope to get to know you better in my next readings. Remember to eat, hydrate, rest, and have fun. Bye! Pile number 3. If you chose the pomegranate yogurt and the pomegranate imagery, then this is for you. Some of you may have changed up your diet to incorporate your dietary requirements. I know that it's usually called restrictions, but I don't want anyone to ever feel like they're restricting themselves for treating their body right. So I call them requirements, because some things are required for some and not for others. You may be working on your gut health and as well. I know yogurt's really good for helping digesting. And also use a snack. Because yogurt is definitely a snack. So use the snack file, number 3. I also feel that you have a very good eye for aesthetics, and I feel that you may be a painter or a photographer. I'm also hearing that you may have work published on Kindle, because with those chestnuts there on the imagery for your pile, I heard this song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. I forgot what I said, so I'm glad I got the message out to you. Oh yeah, no. A Kindle roasting on the kindling, cause of fire. So Kindle, you may be working on putting yourself out there for publishing your work. I also feel that you're working on, like, you've already published your work. I feel that your shadow work on what you're working on is not putting yourself out there, but being consistent, having a consistent routine, motivation, and discipline. Right now, you're working on discipline and commitment, which honestly, I think we all can use a little work on that every now and then. Okay, let's go for pile number 3. We have the Dreamweaver for the first card, which is, what are you working on with the shadow work? What shadow work are you working on through this winter season? Some of you may be working on publishing a children's story, especially with the Kindle, because I'm getting this on from a music box, or I think it was an overhead baby bassinet. Either way, it was a song that I knew from my childhood, and I feel as though you may be a someone who works with children, like a psychologist, a pediatrician, or you're just a stay-at-home parent, parental figure. Regardless, I feel like right now you are working through publishing your work. That's what I'm getting. Whether or not it's paintings or your words, I just feel as though you are taking it to a next level. You are no longer just putting yourself out there, you're advocating for the next level. Okay, let's see what it is. You shine bright like a diamond. So I feel as though you're learning how to not put as much pressure on yourself, because when pressure is formed on diamonds, it can make a diamond, but if you put too much pressure, that diamond will also crack again. So I feel as though you're a tough egg to crack, and you know this about yourself, and it's taking a moment. All the diamonds in the sky. So you shine bright like a diamond. All the diamonds in the sky. So I feel as though what you're learning to do with your shadow work is that whether or not you show up, you show out. So basically, you don't need to show up every single day to shine brightly. A lot of you may have been putting too much pressure on yourself to do things perfectly. And the perfectionism may have been slowing you down from progress, from putting things out. Which is why you may be struggling with commitment to your routine and dedication to your art, is because you're forgetting that you're one in a million. Not every single diamond is cut the same shape. There is no two diamonds that are the same. Some of you may be feeling discouraged because 144 on the end of the clock there. Yeah, you're a starseed. You're a starseed. You were sent here to come raise the vibrations of the many rays of light coming towards the earth. Just because there's other tarot readers doesn't mean that you don't deserve to pull cards and tell your story and name the ways that the imagery brings messages to you. Just because there's other children's authors doesn't mean that you don't deserve to publish one. Kids deserve as many books as possible. You're worried about putting your music out there and being like, well, there's someone who's already sings like this. Why is there's nothing wrong with more. There's nothing wrong with more in the world, especially with a little bit more of you. My pile number 3. And that's what you're learning with your shadow work, is that your wishes deserve to come true as well. Not with the puffer fish, you may be, your body may be becoming inflamed from perceived threats and too much pressure, and that you've been putting on yourself from the perfectionism, and it could be coming out on and showing through your body in other ways. And also, I feel as though you're hydrating a lot more, learning what you need to intake to your body. Because when puffer fishes puff up, they're not puffing up full of air, they're puffing up full of water. So, with the body being inflamed, you're learning what you need to intake more. Maybe you were having bloating because of water retention, and you're learning how to balance your body, and you're recognizing that your thoughts and the way you're treating yourself in with what you eat and what you're ingesting is starting to show within your body and your work. And yeah. And you're realizing that you are the wish. That's your shadow work, is to realizing that you are one in a million diamond. Like, you are not like all the rest of them. Just because there's other starseeds giving their message, just because there's other Reiki masters doing lessons, doesn't mean that you can't too. if there was only one book on one cooking book forever for everyone, and it only came from one part of the world, and then we would only have Mediterranean food all the time. What about buttered chicken? What about vermicelli bowls? You know what I mean? Like, so, like, your family cookbook recipe is just as good as a family's cookbook recipe on the other side of the world. Why does their grandmamas get like a subscription follower, but you can't have a subscription follower? Honey, you are you are worthy of being seen. I'm in the fields of dandelions. I'll be wishing that you would be mine. Mine. I don't know the words all the way, but I know that they were inside of video shorts, so maybe you're worried about, you know, people making small reels and you're like, well, that's already done. Well, then you do it too. That's called a trend. That means you're trendy. And I know you're scared of that because you're afraid of being authentic, but when you be yourself and do the things that you enjoy, even if someone else has done it before, that's still sitting within your authenticity. Not doing things because someone else has done that is not living within your authenticity. Oh, how many times can you say it in a go? um, Authenticity, authenticity, authenticity. Hey, hey, hey. A lot of you may be working on your probiotics or enjoy racing or just the movie The Little Rascals, because that's from the song I got two pickles, I got two pickles, I got two pickles, hey, hey, hey. Actually, that lines up because could you imagine if there was only one style of pickle forever because no one else decided, hey, we should make another style of pickle? It's like, okay, so now we only have butter pickles forever. What about beet pickles? What about carrot pickles? And for those who like it, what about the pickled eggs? You know, you, you deserve to shine within your authenticity as well, my dear. That is what you're working on for your shadow work. You are learning that no one else does it like you. You say it best than all the rest. You say it best. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Some of you may enjoy country music. I'm also getting that you're realizing that there is many sides to you. Some of you may have felt like, well, I'll give you an example from myself. But as you see, there's many different faces of the diamond. Like with myself, I originally started off writing poetry, and I was like, oh, I'm a poet. Okay, cool. And then I started to do tarot, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm a tarot reader now. And then I realized that I could do rhapsodomancy, which is a poetry form of divination. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I started doing music, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm a musician now. But I'm all those things. I'm a tarot reader. I'm a friend. I'm a writer. I'm a singer. Like, you you have many different sides to you. You're a multifaceted crystalline being. And a lot of you may not know this, but you may know this. Um, you can actually fuse crystals together, just like in Steven Universe. Like sometimes some crystals want to fuse together and some don't. So you're learning what you work well with and what you don't. You're learning what's for you and what's not for you when you're doing your shadow work. And that's incredible. Can we have, what should pile number 3, not pile number 2, number 3 be proud of themselves, Persephone? Why should pile number 3 be proud of themselves? You bring justice. You bring justice into people's lives, and for yours, you move fairly. You treat people fairly, and you know what is just. You may be a air sign or a Libra. You don't have to be. That's just extra confirmation. But yeah, the reason why you should be proud is the fact that you move swiftly with the sword there. That, yeah, that you, justice. So proud of you, like you bring justice. You bring justice. Justice is served when you are around. You do things justly and fair, and you allow others to weigh in on it. Like, you make sure that you weigh all your options before moving forward with logical thinking. What's the underlining energy? Just because, like, justice is just very cut. Yeah, very cut, straight, dry. You should be proud because you bring justice and serve justice and live with a just heart. 4, 5. I think it's 9 of swords. Swords. 9 of wands underneath. Yeah, despite everything that you have been through, you didn't allow your obstacles to stop you. You took everything that was thrown at you and you turned it into like, you turned it into abundance. You turned it into stability, fruitfulness. People threw dirt on your name and you turned into a flower is basically the energy that I'm getting. And you do that for others. If people are throwing dirt on other people's names, you allow only goodness to be speaking towards them. If you see that there's injustice happening, you speak up about it. And honestly, I don't know what else to say in regards to that, because that's pretty cut. Yeah, you're pretty straight, cut, and dry is another thing to be proud of, because a lot of people like to beat around the bush and to throw slander and, like, not be forthcoming. And you're very forthcoming. When you speak with logic and sincerity, and you know that you are just in your actions. Can we have an advice from Persephone, please, Spirit, guides, guardians, and ancestors? Or mostly Persephone, but I just wanted to call in the rest of my guides. A lot of you may have a lot of guides, or may worship a lot of different deities from a lot of variety of cultures. You may enjoy musicals. I'm getting musical songs stuck in my head. Masquerade. Masquerade. And the opera as well. Yes. Advice for you is I'm hearing you have a beautiful voice. Just because you need to go to speech therapy, to music lessons, to vocal lessons, does not mean that you don't have a beautiful voice. You have a beautiful voice, whether you have a speech impediment, whether or not you are just starting out, it doesn't matter. Your voice is beautiful and it speaks justly. And just because there's other singers out there doesn't mean that you won't shine bright like a diamond. Okay, pile number 3. That's yeah. We have the Knight of Cups. I'm hearing conch in the conch shell or conch could be important to you. Knights of Emotions is the Knight of Cups. Yeah, bring that love offering towards you. Advice is to bring that love offering to yourself that you give so freely to everyone else. I know that was at the beginning when it started off. And that you support so many others. Like, you are aware that there's so many others who shine brightly, and you give them love, no questions asked. And Spirit and Persephone would like you to shout and sing your praises as much as you do everyone else. You know? Clap for yourself a little bit louder. You clap loudly and cheer loudly for everyone else. Persephone would like you to charge in and take charge and cheer for yourself. A lot of you, again, you may be, this may not be confirmation for everyone, but some of you may be transgender. With the seahorses, I know that the males get pregnant. So, advice for you is to not follow gender roles, remembering that there is ways that every household is different and it gets ran separately, and not everyone's advice and hacks and tips and way that they run their home isn't going to be the same. And Persephone wants to remind you of that. So live your life the way that I'm also live your life the way that so it makes waves is what I'm like, how am I supposed to say that? Stephanie kept saying, keep living your life in ways that, makes a splash. Make a splash. Make waves. Make way for pile 3. Be your own genie. Make your own magic. You're not a street rat, okay? You deserve more than that. I'm hearing from Aladdin from Prince of Thieves. It's like, how can you say I don't come out of thin air? Spirit wants to Stephanie wants to give you advice, is that you didn't come out of thin air, and you belong here, and you are meant to take up space. Yeah, charge into your settings with no apologies. The conch shell there is kind of reminding me of the Faevoured spiral. So a lot of you may work with what is it? Advice. What does a Faevoured fucking spiral have to do with advice? Spirit, you're getting me to swear. So you may swear like a sailor, and advice from Persephone is to not spiral out of control. You may speak before you may react before responding, is what she's saying, and just to be more mindful and take a moment to pause before you spiral out of control. Like with the puffer fish up here, you may puff up or get angry or just, thrown off your energy really easily. And it's just like, just remember to take a moment to ground yourself, because if you're like a water sign or air sign, you may take a little bit extra in order to a lot of you may be worried about with the spiral. A lot of you may be what is it called? Synchronicity. Yes, Spirit's saying to not get too caught up in synchronicities. Like, if you're worried you'll only go to a certain room if it has a certain number. Remember to be spontaneous is what I'm getting at. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for being straightforward. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, whew. So yes, thank you for coming through. I hope these messages found you some clarity and some reassurance, and if not, at least relatable. And I look forward to reading your energy in the next readings, and I look forward to seeing you all. So remember to eat, hydrate, rest, and have fun. Bye!